Getting feedback that you're mumbling can feel really disconcerting because it's often hard to pinpoint what exactly is causing it. Maybe you've had feedback at work that you need to speak more clearly, or perhaps you're struggling to sound confident for an important interview or oral exam, or whatever it is. Don't despair because I've got you covered. My name is Sarah, executive speaking consultant, speech pathologist, and opera singer, and today I've decided it's time to discuss mumbling with you. Why? Because 58% of my clients over the past decade have reported that they often, or nearly always, mumble. So if you've not yet worked with me to learn how to overcome mumbling, this episode is for you. First, we'll look at the top 5 causes of mumbling, and then I'll make some recommendations for what you can do to improve your professional speaking and get rid of mumbling once and for all. First, we need to define what's mumbling. We can best define mumbling as speaking quietly in a way that's not clear so that the words are difficult to understand. You might be wondering, is mumbling normal? Mumbling is usually a sign of communication issues when speaking, interacting, and sharing your message. Although not technically classified as a speech impediment, if you find yourself mumbling in conversations that matter, your listener will no doubt notice reduced confidence and clarity while you share your message. No doubt you've been wondering, what is mumbling a symptom of? Mumbling is almost always the outcome of a communication issue. A mix of factors can definitely cause you to mumble, so if you've been looking for how to overcome it, this episode will outline some key causes. And at the end of the video, I'll recommend some solutions for you, so make sure you watch until the very end. Also, before we launch in, over on my website you can find an extensive blog post that gives you more tips for mumbling. But for now, let's investigate the risk factors that cause mumbling. Overall, 5 core communication factors can cause mumbling. Let's check the first cause. Number 1 is poor articulation. Sometimes mumbling results from bad articulation and a small jaw opening. When we're speaking, our jaw unhinges to release the sound wave into the room. So if you're inclined to hold your jaw incredibly tight, your speech can sound muffled because all the sounds you're producing have to squeeze into a similar space, which compromises their clarity and contrast. Now, you see, every language has a mix of consonants and vowels, and each pronunciation sound has a slightly different position with the jaw, the tongue, and the lips. So if you start releasing your sound through the one mouth position, the speech patterns start showing less contrast, which can cause reduced speaking clarity. And usually this comes down to a tightly held jaw. So you might be wondering, is the solution to open your mouth more to prevent mumbling? Well, it depends. First, you need to know what is actually causing your mumbling. I don't recommend artificially adjusting how you move your mouth without getting detailed insights into what contributes to the mumbling behaviors, because changing your mouth position on your own and hoping for the best could lead to bigger issues. Your jaw's position, alignment, and movement substantially impact your voice quality, so don't make any massive tweaks without consulting with a speaking expert first. Factor number 2 that can cause mumbling is incorrect breath management skills. If you sound too soft when speaking and don't project your voice correctly, there's a chance your speaking can sound mumbled and less clear. If your voice is soft and inconsistent and you're finding it hard to speak loud enough when presenting, speaking up in team meetings, or chatting through solutions with your clients, you may need to work on your breath management skills as a key to unlock mumbling. When we fail to coordinate our breath correctly, our vowels and consonants can start to lose clarity because we can get some speech noises coming out that interferes with our intelligibility. For example, noisy breathing while speaking can distract from the core words and sounds in your message and make your speech sound less articulate. Also, if you fail to coordinate the right amount of air pressure to get sufficient volume, your voice projection and comfort will obviously be affected, which can also account for sounding like you're mumbling if conversation partners are struggling to hear you. When you have low volume, it can lead to difficulties organizing the power source for your voice because your breath is what powers your voice. This then makes it harder for your listener to understand your message, and you may receive feedback that you're mumbling. Factor number 3 is weak voice coordination skills. If you've not learned how to use your voice correctly, you may start showing voice quality factors that reduce your speaking polish, executive presence, and credibility when speaking. Mumbling is a form of imprecise, low-effort speaking that is usually accompanied by voice quality issues like vocal fry and strain. Vocal fry will reduce the integrity of your voice vibration and can impact the projection and power of your opinions. Take a listen to this phrase, which contains fry. I'm Sarah, and I believe you can stop mumbling if you put some strategies in place. Did you notice how croaky my voice tone was? My voice muscles simply failed to coordinate. How did this affect the confident delivery of my message? It didn't reflect well, did it? Now, listen to the same message with coordinated voice tone. I'm Sarah, and I believe you can stop mumbling if you put some strategies in place. You will have noticed that when our voice coordination deteriorates, it also erodes the power of our opinion and argument for the listener. So if you're mumbling, get serious about improving your speaking quality because it can hold you back at work and make your insights sound hesitant and less confident. Factor number 4 is language structure problems. Sometimes mumbling can be an immediate outcome of struggling to organize our thoughts when speaking under pressure, especially at work. Imagine your client asks you an unexpected question. Your thoughts start racing, and suddenly, when you start speaking, your words are racing too. It's a fact. Speaking confidence isn't in our DNA. Instead, it's a specific skill set that we need to practice. And part of learning to express ourselves confidently is learning how to articulate our ideas, especially when speaking under pressure. Do you find it challenging to get your ideas in order when speaking in impromptu conversations, during team meetings, or answering random questions when giving a presentation? If you're nodding, let's discuss what you can do to get on top of speaking issues. When you give responses at work that sound mumbled, anxious, and unclear, research shows that your listener will instantly form an impression that your ideas aren't prepared, and worse still, they may even conclude that you lack expertise on the topic. So I have to be candid with you. Research into leadership communication skills shows that if you can't express yourself so that you sound confident, you're losing communication capital and maybe even opportunities. It may even account for why you're failing to score a promotion or get the influence you need at work to do your job more comfortably. But remember, as I always say on this channel, communication confidence is built on strategy and practice. So instead of feeling like a bad communicator, check yourself. Maybe your speaking confidence issues are arising because you don't have a system for dealing with high-pressure conversations. If that's the case, focus on strategy, not difficulty. And if you get stuck, you know where to find me. I can help you with proper training to speak up with clarity, impact, and elegance. Factor number 5 is a weak vocabulary. Yes, that's right. A weak vocabulary can definitely lead to you mumbling. Just like struggling to get our message structure organized can lead to mumbling and hesitations while speaking, we can lose our message clarity when our vocabulary is weak. There's nothing like not being able to find the precise word you need to make you want to hide behind your response, which can lead to you speaking with less conviction and, as a result, mumbling. If this is the case, my online vocabulary course will help you find the right words and solve your word-finding problems at work. The vocabulary workshop uses science-based methods and trains you in a powerful step-by-step system to strengthen memory networks for new words that gets you using them. I've linked the details below for you to get instant access today. You can sign up at the link below. Let's get into this FAQ. I'm often asked, do mumbling exercises work? Now, if you search YouTube after this video for solutions for mumbling, you'll probably find many videos of people showing you all sorts of strange mouth exercises to stop you from mumbling. But please, don't waste your time on this. In today's episode, you've learnt that the first step to solving mumbling issues is to identify what's causing the speaking clarity issue. Today, we discussed 5 core communication barriers that can cause mumbling, poor articulation, breath management issues, poor voice skills, language structure issues, and a weak vocabulary. So if you're unsure what is the root cause for you, don't panic. There may be a mix of causing factors. It's frustrating often to know you're mumbling, but what's more useful is to understand why and get some solutions in place that match the reason. And here's where I can help you. I'm utterly obsessed with boosting your communication confidence, which is why I scrupulously researched corporate communication tactics for over a decade and created a total fix for your career communication. And it all begins with my high performance communication audit. So, if you want to take your communication in daily life further, to increase your professional speaking polish so that you can achieve the career outcomes you desire, you should definitely consider this audit. I've left a link to all the details on my website, so be sure to check it out. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you did, and also click like, that really helps me out. I hope that you also found the topic of mumbling helpful. Do you have questions? If so, use the comments section below. I read every comment and can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and ciao for now. Find the words you need by building your vocabulary to sound like an industry leader with just 5 minutes of speaking practice a day. Introducing the Trello Vocabulary Wonderboard. This vocabulary workshop will give you access to a science-backed system to achieve vocabulary growth that strengthens the memory networks you need to retrieve and recall impactful words for speaking and writing. Get instant access now. Here's what you'll get. Access to my Trello Vocabulary Wonderboard video training, which gives you step-by-step instructions for how to boost your vocabulary in the shortest amount of time so that you can see outcomes no matter how busy you are. The Vocabulary Wonderboard. This system guides you through the stages of word integration so that the best words come to mind at the right moments. You'll also receive access to the Content Consumption Plan, a system for sourcing new words in a targeted way that suits your interests and industry, so that you don't need to get bogged down reading hundreds of books per year. You'll also receive materials to help you expand your topic skills so that you plan out your word growth to get the words you need that make you sound closer to an industry expert. Finally, you'll be able to execute a system that gives you the words you need to show up with the professional expertise you're qualified for.